Welcome to Bedtime Bartender. My name is Matthew, and on this channel we learn how to make drinks after the babies go to bed. And tonight is actually today, because today is my birthday, and I'm recording this in the middle of the day, and I'm going to be making some of my favorite drinks, and I thought I would stick to a theme, which is whiskey. So we're going to start with an old-fashioned. This one I'm going to be calling the best of both worlds old-fashioned. Because there is some debate about whether to use bourbon or rye or sugar cube or simple or lots of different other things, we are going to be making this a little bit differently. This is an overproof old-fashioned recipe. We will be using some wild turkey, an ounce or 30 ml. They're not overproof, they're just high proof. Anyway, bottled and bond is technically the term. I also need an ounce or 30 ml of Rittenhouse rye. And then in lieu of a sugar cube, which you see I didn't start with a sugar cube, we're gonna go with a half an ounce of triple syrup. It's my preferred syrup, kind of my go-to syrup. It's got simple, agave, and honey all in one. We're going to need 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. Normally you'd go like 4 to 6 if you're going to make a normal old-fashioned. Some people say drops over the sugar cube. I like dashes. I need 1 dash of orange bitters. And then I need a dash of grapefruit bitters. Now I need to lower in my tempered, or slightly tempered, big rock. Just gonna wipe my hands here. And then I want to give this a little bit of a stir, maybe about 10 seconds or so. The great thing about an old-fashioned is it's going to develop over time, especially with these higher proof whiskeys that we're using. The very first sip and the very last sip are going to be totally different. Using a triple syrup versus a simple or a sugar cube, also a huge difference. And then because we're using what I say the best of both worlds, is because some people will use a traditional lemon garnish or orange, and some people even grapefruit. I like it all. So I'm going to do all of it. Got my grapefruit. I have my lemon, if my beard will get out of the way. And I've got my orange. Just for consistency's sakes, I think I'm going to actually trim the grapefruit. So we're going to spritz, twist, whatever you want to call it, down into the glass. Each one of them. And there we have the best of both worlds old-fashioned. I'm actually just going to set this to the side. I find that specifically with an old-fashioned, I like to let it sit just a few minutes. That's why we have that big old rock in there. We've got higher proof whiskeys. I'm going to let that sit for a moment. And we're going to move on to our second drink. This one is also built in the glass. I don't know if I mentioned that before with the other one. But I'm going to take a few nice big rocks because I don't have another big one. And we're going to be making an Amaro Manhattan. I'm going to keep this up here because I'm going to need that. Move some things around. Because I'm by myself, I put everything up here. So this is a little bit different of an episode, but not too dissimilar to maybe what you're going to be doing at home, which is making multiple drinks in one sitting. So I need this stuff. We need an ounce or 30 ml of rye whiskey. Sorry, no. We need 2 ounces of rye whiskey. 2. I need an ounce of Amaro Manhattan. This is a sweet but bitter aperitif. It's hard to describe the flavor. It's not like an Aperol. It's not like, I don't know, a vermouth. It's totally different. And the flavors are a little bit hard to describe. It's bitter, but it's sweet. It's got a lot of different spices and things of that nature. And it's extremely good. But again, it's kind of hard to describe. So again, an ounce of 30 ml of some sweet vermouth. I'm using Antica Formula, which has some vanilla in it. It's a hair sweeter and sharper than your traditional vermouths. I'm going to give this a quick stir and add another little bit of ice. You can easily do this over a big rock, just like the old-fashioned. With these 2 drinks, you do not need to chill the glass in advance. You can, but it's not 100% necessary. There are a couple of ways you can garnish this drink. For me, I'm going to go with an orange peel. Because of the Amaro and how it complements it. So a quick twist down into the glass. And then here's where a little bit of compromise comes in. I ran out of Luxardo cherries, but I like my Manhattans to have a cherry in them. So I'm going to take the stem off these pretty good red cherries, and I'm going to drop it in the glass. But what I'm also going to do is add a spoonful of, or not a spoonful, but like a half bar spoon of our Luxardo syrup. And just like if you were to drop a cherry in here, some of that liquid's going to go down to the bottom. And as you swirl this drink around and drink it, you're going to be able to get some of that flavor. So we're doing the same thing here, but we're just compromising a little bit. All right, ready to present the Amaro Manhattan. Again, I'm just going to let that sit for a few minutes. I'm going to move some things around. So now is where I need, I brought 2 whatchamacallits up here, jiggers, but I don't think I'm going to use it. This is just fine. It's all whiskey. And it's all good. It smells great. It's that Old Forester. So we're going to set our glass aside. We're going to get a few rocks in there. That's actually, those are the wrong ones. I put 2 different ones in here. Actually, you can see. This is from 2 different molds. I like the Manhattans with this big square ones. And normally when I do shaken drinks, it's the ones that I normally make at home. But for this drink that we're going to make next, kind of like these other bigger ones, or rather cubed ones. So we're gonna go with those. That's gonna sit there for a moment. Now that I've got a little bit more room, grab my shaker. And we're gonna make a Gold Rush. It's not too dissimilar from a whiskey sour, but it is in the amount of ingredients, the lack of egg whites, and the fact that we're going to be replacing simple syrup with triple syrup. The normal recipe is going to call for honey syrup, but I like the triple. Again, it's just one of my favorite syrups, so you can do what you would like, but this is what I do. This is what I like for the Gold Rush. I need 2 ounces or 60 ml of some bourbon. I'm using 4 Roses. I need half an ounce. No, I need 3/4 of an ounce of triple syrup, 22.5 ml. Actually, we don't need this up here, do we? No, we don't. Get this the heck out of the way. Okay, there we go. I feel better about the organization. I just heard the car beep. I need 3/4 of an ounce or 22.5 ml of fresh squeezed lemon juice. Perfect. And now I need some ice. This is where those other cubes are going to come in. My shaker I got for my birthday. 10 to 15 seconds. You can do a couple of different ways. You could take this and just dump everything straight into the glass, but you're gonna have a little bit more dilution. So I like to pour it over fresh rocks, and you don't have to, but I'm just gonna double strain it just in case the lemon came through those little pieces. This one does not require a garnish. And that, right there, for now, is some of my favorite whiskey drinks for my birthday. We have the Best of Both Worlds Old Fashioned, the Amaro Manhattan, and the Gold Rush. I'm going to put a few of these things away, back behind here. Why am I putting all this away? Doesn't really make sense. You know what? We're going to leave it as is. A little bit of a different episode. But you got to make do where you can. Let's give these a shot. After it's had a chance to sit, these flavors have started to develop. Even though this is a high proof cocktail, it is so wonderfully sweet. The Wild Turkey, although higher proof, has such good flavor. Rittenhouse Rye is also one of my favorites. It's also on the sweet side, even for a higher proof. It's awesome. And then blending all of those fruity flavors and the different zests that we have going on here it's a beautiful drink, and I encourage you to try it. There's a billion different ways to do old fashions, and this is definitely one of my favorites. Okay, Manhattan. Amaro Manhattan. It's so good, you guys. Specifically, I think what makes it so good, we're replacing the bitters with Amaro, but also adding a little bit of sweetness and a lot of different spices. And then on top of that, we're changing out a traditional vermouth with this Antica formula. And the flavors in there are out of this world. They're so different and so good, and I really, really enjoy them. I hope you will too. Last but not least, a Gold Rush, which I mistakenly call Yukon Gold every now and again, like the potato, but it's Gold Rush. You get the whiskey right up front. It's sweet. It's bright. It's citrusy. The triple syrup really plays well. The normal 1-to-1 simple or your honey syrup really kind of overpowers it. And I like it this way with the triple syrup. So there we are. These are some of my favorite drinks for my birthday. And thank you so much for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below and tell me what your favorite drink is, because I'd love to make it. And I think that's just about it. So we will see you next time. Be good to each other, and have a great rest of your day.